So we're gonna try something a little different, a different style of video, see if you guys like it. What is shooting fire at me? There's something under the ground. What? I can't make this up. That rocket's just shooting fire at me. Oh my god. Come on, do it again. Go ahead, try it again, you cheater. Oh shit, he did it. Any more fireballs? Oh my god, okay. Holy mother of... Jesus. So there's going to be a lot of footage just cut out of this video, and I kind of wanted to make a point of saying that this whole build was close to 12 hours solid. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. You'll understand why soon, but I just kind of like to bring that up. So there's going to be just a lot of cuts and a lot of fast motion. One of the programs that I use to pre-plan a lot of this is Sand Key Factory. And here's kind of an image of what we typically look at, or something similar. That's not the exact blueprint, but as I'm going around and placing buildings, just know that this is all pre-planned, and this is not by chance just winging it more so, or more say. It's planned out to the point where it's going to work. Making the water flow and the oil flow, well, that's a separate issue that you're just going to have to run into eventually. But this also kind of shows like how I build things, and the more or less direction of how it ends up is crazy. This build itself has been taking forever to edit, so I'm just kind of like rushing towards the finish because I have other projects that I'm trying to work on. Now, there is something I would like to ask is, do you prefer these kinds of videos where I speed it up, or do you want a more complex and total build? I know other people have different tastes, so I'd like to know what you guys personally would like to see. Okay, so in the video itself, we are completing the byproduct of the crude oil, turning the crude oil to plastic. We're left with a heavy oil residue, which will eventually turn into our fuel. And we're just gonna get a couple more fuel generators to kind of burn up the residue. I throw down a little input here to see how much plastic we're getting per minute. Since it's stocked up, it's gonna take a little bit. Oh, there she is. It's gonna take a little bit to come down. And there's our drone, here to pick up our plastic. Now I gotta flush this heavy oil residue. This is the byproduct I was talking about. And what's happening here is that I have pipes that are full, but this pump is not pumping. Now this is a typical issue that you guys might even run into some of your builds, and I'll kind of explain this as we're going along. But essentially what's happening is that this machine is pumping heavy oil out. It's collecting but not making it to the pump. The reason it's not making it to the pump is because this pump is placed on a support column. Since it's placed on a support column, the pump is actually on its own entity. It's not even on the pipes. It's really confusing because it looks like it, and there's like no reason why it shouldn't be, but that's the primary reason. So now that I got this hooked back up, this pump is going to start flowing, and we're going to kind of continue down the line and just double check our other pipes. For a second here, I think this might be having the same issue, but then I realized that we don't even have any flow. So this is just me double checking all my pipes, and a little bit of a troubleshooting phase on phase 1. As I'm going around, I usually just try to do one phase at a time and double check to make sure everything's going one step at a time, boys, one step at a time. 220. Just double checking my math and my inputs.
Pretty close.
This input should be at 240, and I don't think I have it on the video, but there was a pump that was currently down. Now you see here I am dragging sulfur over to our nodes, and most of you might even realize that what I'm doing here is I'm creating compact coal.
Sulfur down. Now I just need coal.
Start running the coal back to the base so we can have compact coal for our turbo fuel.
Oh my god. It's all the way over here. Can't sick of making portable miners. Alright. I need a whopping 4 ingots. 4 ingots a minute. And then this is a...
You ever wonder why my base looks as crazy as it is? Because I get sick of this stuff. Why is it not connecting? Screw you, you're connecting. Bing, bam, boom, done. Speaking of boom. Goodbye, terrain. My home now. Oh. Time to place down our blender so we can finally start making some of our own turbo fuel. Actually, just kidding. This blender is meant to make rocket fuel. Oops. Hello, little buddy. This hog jumps out of nowhere and tries to kill me, but don't fret because I have these things. Goodbye. You're a problem for another day. As right about here, I realized I didn't have the recipe.
Am I missing something? What? Oh, maybe I don't have it unlocked.
Nope, I did not have nitric acid unlocked.
Maybe I'll do this real quick.
So I'm start running around frantically unlocking everything so I can have nitric acid. The only problem is I need the secondary space part.
Research completed.
Unlock compact coal
Experimental power
again.
generation research option.
I have to go back to base, rebuild my space elevator, and unlock this shit. Alright, we're taking the express route back to base. Now I found that my steel was actually getting routed wrong, so I have to come over here and separate the lines that are coming in because I'm having plates and pipes come into the same line. Now there's just a little sorter I'm making. It doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to freaking work. As you can see on some of these lines, that's where our main issue is, and it's backing up some of the machines down the line. You ask me how I figured that out? Well, here's a clip to show you what the inside of my factory is where I was troubleshooting. So unless you want to be looking at this for 3 hours, I'm just going to cut all of this nonsense out so I can get this figured out and fixed. And we're up and running. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Probably the easiest thing I've ever done ever. It only took me let me check my watch here, 8 hours to get that fixed. No problem. All in a day's work, and we have steel pipes flowing. Ah. I need rubber. I don't have rubber. While I was at base, I decided to make a little launcher so I can get back and forth a little bit quicker. I'm calling it the Super Launcher 9000. Or 90,000. Nope, just 9,000. Just kidding. Even I forgot what I named it. God, it's been so long. The process is simple. Simply go through the Face Ripper 9000 and you are flying. The only part I didn't realize is that the hover pack actually kind of ruins your momentum. But jetpacks, on the other hand, are the future. Much better. And we're going to put one over here on this side as well so I can return back to base a little bit quicker. Since I need rubber, I'm going to run another line all the way back to base. That line on the right is going to be just for plastic. This line is going to be meant for rubber. It is kind of soothing watching this back, knowing how much of a pain in the ass it actually was to route all this. Because as soon as I get this finished, I have to go all the way back and double check that all my pipes are actually flowing in the correct areas. I'm double checking my calculations and I get yeeted by an alien. Trying to look around and see what the hell killed me. I don't even know.
Stella, no. Ah!
Now I'm adding a couple of things to my network. I'm adding these flow valves, or these valves in general. This one might be a little bit too close, but that's for future me to figure out. The reason I'm adding these flow valves is because I have pumps on the bottom side on some of these, and I just don't want the backflow to kind of counterintuitive or counterbalance the pipes. If I want a pipe pumping, I want it pumping the correct direction. I don't want it pumping back. And I'm not quite sure of my fluid dynamics of this game to trust my instincts, so pumps and flow valves galore. Now this is just me kind of placing the first rubber refinery, and this is kind of the color I'm going to go with. Sometimes I'll add into the quick tab to see how many of one item I need. In this case, I needed like, what, 18 refineries or something? So you can see that number going down as soon as I place them. The only downside is sometimes when you remove a refinery and I died again. I'm sure glad I set that up. Back to placing refineries, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, although I'm looking for this crate and I can't seem to find it where I died before. Magically disappeared. Big bummer. Oh, never mind, there it is. I got it. Oh my god, the hill is looking beautiful, but now we have to run water. And to get across this path, I decided to build a bridge. But to make it nice and chaotic, we're going to do a little something different with this bridge. So, as we speed along, I decided to do this very wide and sneaky path. And I think it just kind of looks neat. It kind of follows the artistic abilities of... the only thing I can manage to do right is mess everything up. So... yeah, we're just going to build that real quick, and then we'll delete it, and then we'll build on top of our own pipe. The one downside of not being able to use a hover pack near all this as I'm building is I run out of fuel. Back in the face ripper. Oh my god, that is so satisfying. Even watching this back, very satisfying. Base is looking very good. Here's another shot with a little bit less fog. Oh my god, the 1200 water generators really just make this beak mwah. Okay, so I need 5, 6 turbo fuel makers. How much I got? 1, 2. Well, all I have to do is run this turbo fuel back to our home destination. And we are in the money. Yes, that's indeed how I count when I forget how much of one thing I have. Painfully and slowly, I have to go back through all my builds and double check that I did in fact make the right number of stuff. Double checking and checking is just part of the game. That's how we learn. You probably aren't going to be able to tell, but I did indeed do a little bit of grinding off the camera, as I do have nitric acid now, so we're just hooking up the rest of our turbo power lines and making sure everything is connected so we can bring that turbo fuel back up to our little blender so we can get some rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is going to be a great resource to get more power for this base, and probably powers this entire section by itself. 100 rocket fuel per minute? Oh, I have to clock one at 66. I guess you are the unfortunate choice. But still, almost 300 rocket fuel per minute. That's a kind of fucking lot of rocket fuel. I feel like we should decorate this with like a special thing. And this is indeed the first time I've ever seen rocket fuel in my save. Holy shit, the first rocket fuel. You know what I gotta do, boys. We gotta test this. Oh my god. It is so much better than turbo fuel. Holy crap, what a boost that is. Now I can go so high. Now I didn't show it, but our build was completed. We've just successfully linked up the rubber to our drone to take it back to base. So yeah, that's kind of it, guys. I'm just gonna do some more panoramic shots and get some more footage of this area. This build took a lot of time, and I'm really glad of how it turned out. And you'll see in some of the slow motion shots, or the action shots, that there is suddenly a train line. So just keep note of that. It might be coming soon. This base produces 240 plastic, 140 rubber, and enough rocket fuel to do this entire base, along with a little bit extra. Now, I did use a blueprint to kind of condense down the fuel generators, but honestly, after 12 hours of just non-stop working on this build, I just wanted it done, and I needed something to burn that excess off of. Enjoy the shots, guys.